Back. Now I know a lot of you guys have seen this already, but you gotta just watch it over and over again because it's just an absolute banger. One of the best videos out on the internet right now. Shout out to Perry Chan for throwing this together for Gary. You guys know what it's about. So I'm just gonna play it and yeah,
I'm Black Snape. Yeah,
this
I'm Black
broke the
Snape.
internet.
Black cloak, black skin.
YouTube, don't get mad.
Whispering, cauldron bubble, I'm different. Dark eyes don't flinch, just glimmering. House points, man,
Oh
miss
man.
me. Came from pain, they history. Same blood, they fear, they diss me. But they copy my brew, still sip me. Side eye from the portraits. Cold stone, but my soul scorched. They ain't teach where I'm from, had to learn from the alleys and the torch. Half prince in the world that hate, half rage in the narrow gate, half foot in the castle gate. Hold me, never run from Black Snake. Walking through the dark, one day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. I'm Black Snake. They talk war in the streets. I see more than they see in the tower. Drive by, man, I glide by stealth. Broomstick, bring stone, cold shower. I ain't glorified shots, that's great. That's moms in black, that's waves. Of boys that ain't make old age. So I ain't my rage at the cage. Walking through the dark, one day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. I'm Black Snake.
Neurotic doc.
Oh, hell yeah. Man, that broke the internet today. And I can't even tell you how many times I have watched this video. It's just been on repeat like all day. It's just an absolute banger. If you haven't for some reason seen it yet, besides this, what are you living under a rock? Like this is the greatest song out there right now. But a lot of mixed reviews on this new Harry Potter series. Personally, I was never the biggest like Harry Potter fan. I wasn't like deep into the lore, into the world. I always thought it was a very good story, but I was like, it is what it is. It's very well done. I think that they did a very good job. It does hold its place among great trilogy or great movie series, I should say. But I don't know how I feel about this reboot, especially with Snape being swapped. Now, again, it could have been any. Thank you, Isaac. It could have been any character, right? But they decided to choose the one person that the books describe as like what is it, like sallowed skin or whatever. So basically, like there's no other way to interpret other than the fact that he's like pale white. They could have made Hagrid black. They could have made Harry black for all I care, but it's just they want to do a faithful adaptation and then they do this shit. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm I'm not really looking forward to this. I don't really have high hopes. We'll see. We could be all wrong, but off of first glances, I'm not really getting a good vibe off of it. I mean, some of the like the character designs or the costumes, like yeah, they look okay. I'm okay with Hagrid. Of course, it's going to be hard to replace the goat, but it's just I don't know. It's not needed. They want to do a faithful adaptation, and this ain't it. So exactly, Isaac, pale, sallow, sour milk colored skin. So there's no other way to interpret that, really. But it is what it is. Hollywood's gonna Hollywood. And holy shit, we are getting raided. Who are we getting raided by? Nagarnal. Nagarnal popping in with the 6 spectator raid. Thank you, brother. Welcome on in, everyone. Y'all just missed the greatest song of all time. Shout out again to Perry Chan for throwing this together. Black Snape has officially broken the internet. And thank you, Nagarnal, again for the raid on Kick and on YouTube. Dude, thank you, brother. Thank you. Absolute fucking legend. If you guys aren't following Nagarnal, What the fuck are you guys doing? He's the best mod on the internet. He's got the most energy when he's doing his intros and his outros. He's just an absolute legend all around, and he is a professional bone sucker. He likes to suck all the meat right off the bones. That's Naganol for you. And I know that's going to get clipped, son of a bitch, but it's fine. Welcome on in, guys. Thank you all for being here. So, again, this broke the internet. I'm not really looking forward to it, but we'll see how it goes. So, yo, we got some new people over on the YouTube side. We got Karen, we got Chell, we got BRJ. Welcome on in, guys. Thank you for following Naganol with the raid. Y'all are legends. I appreciate it. And if you guys haven't, consider dropping a like on the YouTube side, maybe a subscribe. We're trying to get up there in those numbers, trying to get monetized on both YouTube channels by end of the year. So we're gonna try to make that happen, and this would not be possible without all of you. So thank you. Thank you. All right. Enough of Black Snape. I know you guys have seen this about a million times today already, but I had to talk about it. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Next topic, and this is actually a little out of order here. The X-Files reboot. I'm sure you guys have heard. There's an X-Files reboot in the works, and it's already looking pretty bad. So it's going to be directed or run by Ryan Coogler, and they announced the other casting today. Hollywood's gonna Hollywood. That's all I can say about it. So recently, the reboot got a lot of praise and a lot of positivity from Gillian Anderson, who played Scully in the original series. And I just got a new follow on the YouTube side. Got a couple of them actually, so thank you. Appreciate that, guys. Welcome on in. Welcome to the channel. And anyways, I'm not sure how I feel about this, because even though Scully is giving this a positive feel or vibe, I'm not really hopeful for it, because it's hard to even put this into words. I don't think he's gonna stick with how the original show worked, if that makes any sense. It it's going to be very modern, obviously, and it's going to have to kind of change a little bit with like the new technology and the new like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I totally understand, but it's the vibe that's going to be different, and it hurts. Is the best way I can say it. Is it hurts seeing a franchise that you love just get absolutely destroyed. And this has been happening for years now with every fucking franchise in the world. Everything's getting a reboot, everything's getting redone, and it's all just shit. There's a very slight chance that this could be good, but I'm not hopeful. So I'm just going to kind of read through this a little bit. I got a couple of articles on this. So this is from yesterday, actually. So very, very recent article. Gillian Anderson has said that she read the script for the X-Files reboot, and she described it positively, underscoring steady progress on the project. She told attendees the X-Files reboot script was really good and cautioned against dismissing it, per Collider. That's my first red flag. She's saying that it's really good, and she doesn't want us to just automatically dismiss it. The fact that they had to have her come out and say something about it to give it some kind of positive outlook, that's a red flag off the start. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but David Duchovny, he still hasn't said a damn thing about this reboot, to my knowledge. That's kind of a bad thing. When you have one of your main leads from the original show not saying a damn thing about it, uh, that's, that's kind of rough. I don't know how to feel about it. And as from what it seems, like he hasn't, let me clarify, he hasn't offered any feedback on the script or anything like that with the reboot. All that he said is that he's not interested in coming back as of now. And supposedly, this says that Anderson and Duchovny have expressed interest. From what I understand, it's only been Anderson who has expressed interest in making a cameo of sorts. So it won't even be a full on role. It's just going to be most likely a cameo here and there. Maybe she'll like pop in to help out these new agents with something. I don't know. Because from what the story has been told so far, it's going to be about a long shuttered government division that these two new agents get assigned to, and it's going to supposedly follow the original series in the sort of the vibe and the feel of it. I can't see that happening. Um, he Ryan Coogler, he's worked on things like Sinners and Black Panther. Those are very, very different vibes, and they're very different types of movies than X-Files. And I don't want to completely dismiss them right off the bat because I think everybody deserves a fair chance at what they're doing. But there's a lot of red flags with this. First one being they had to bring in Anderson to read it and say it's really good. Don't dismiss it. That's the first one right off the bat. I don't like it. And there's also no release date yet, which is kind of a big thing because you would want to you want to give people like some kind of like timeline when you announce this stuff, like at least say, our original plan is to have this out by next summer or next Christmas. That way we kind of have an idea of what we're looking for or what we're looking forward to. And stuff gets delayed all the time. So if it got delayed or pushed back, nobody would be surprised. It happens all the time. We'll see what happens. The one positive thing so far that I have seen about this is that Chris Carter is going to still be an executive producer on this, which gives me a slight glimmer of hope. However, I feel like he's also going to just be kind of like, this is the general vibe you want to go for. That's all I'm going to help you with. Everything else is up to you. And if that's how it goes, it's going to be pretty rough. I don't think he'll let Coogler completely destroy it, but it's at the point where I think he's going to ruin it just enough to where this is probably going to flop. Um, so we've known that Danielle Deadweiler is going to be the new Scully of sorts in the show. It's not going to be based on Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. It's going to be two new agents, but in the sense of the terms, she's going to be like the Scully of the show, so to speak. And then just today, or yesterday, I should say, we were told that Himesh Patel is going to be joining opposite of her. I gotta be honest. When I look at him or her, I don't really see, I don't really get that X-Files vibe from them. Like, they don't really seem like the type of people that are going to go digging for the truth in all these conspiracies. Like, when you looked at Fox Mulder, he just had this, like, look and this aura about him. And it made you kind of like really connect with his character, and you could get into it real easy because like right off the bat he had that spooky Mulder type of feel, and it worked just by looking at him. Whereas looking at these two, it it's not really giving me too much hope for their character vibes. I could be totally wrong. I hope I am. We'll see. We will see. I don't want to completely trash it off the bat, like I said, but with everything I'm seeing so far, it's a very slight slimmer of hope. The only green flag I've seen so far is Chris Carter still attached. We'll see. We shall see. Let's see. Hard pass on this garbage. Yeah, it's most likely going to be, like I said, I'm going to give it a fair chance, but I'm not very hopeful. Let me quick catch up on chat, and then I'm going to get to the last topic of this, and then we're going to hop into some Arc Raiders. So I see a bunch of y'all on the YouTube side. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Chell said, fix this account and got you to 105. I appreciate it, brother. Karen liked and subbed. Thank you. Dorkman, welcome on in. Please, no new X-Files movie. I agree. I highly agree with that. Let's see. She has to say to not dismiss it. That's definitely a red flag. Yes. We'll see. We can hope, we can dream, but we know what's going to happen. So keep your expectations low. That way you can't be disappointed too much. And that way, if it does do well, it'll surpass your expectations and end out even better for you. I don't know. Let's see. My expectations for the new X-Files movie is like the sugar powder at the bottom of a box of cereal. Yes, all the good shit at the bottom. Yo, welcome on in, Jeff. It's good to see you, brother. Great stream earlier, you guys. Y'all are always killing it. I'm glad I could tune in while I was working. And this is technically a gaming stream. We're just doing a little bit of pop culture stuff before we hop in. I'm trying something a little bit different. I've been hearing a lot of news today about some pop culture things, and I was like, I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. I'll probably make this a little segment and put it up on the Nerd Files as well, but I really wanted to talk about some of this kind of stuff. So, thank you everyone for stopping on in. Let's see. I joined from the garage if he would allow me. Hey, if I do stuff like this and you want to join, Jeff, let me know, man. Like tonight, this was just kind of like an impromptu last minute thing. I'm like, ooh, let me talk about some of this kind of stuff and get it going, But yeah, if you ever want to join, let me know, man. Let me know. Let's see, and I think all caught up now. Oh, JK said same for the Harry Potter show. Yeah, again, I was never personally the biggest fan of Harry Potter. I mean, I enjoyed watching them, but I was never one of those like die-hard Harry Potter fans like some people are, So I'll check it out. Not very hopeful for it. With, I mean, it's got a pretty decent like cast. Some of the casting does look pretty accurate. Although the first image of John Lithgow's Dumbledore, it looks a little bit like we caught him in a tunnel underneath of a building in a city, and he was trying to explain why there's tunnels under there, if you catch my drift. Um, we'll see. Again, I'm not very hopeful with either of these, but we'll find out. All right. Last topic before we get some Arc Raiders, because I know that's why you guys are really here. So, last thing we're going to talk about is the new Stargate series. So, this article comes from Darren over at Gate World, which he was just on Suns and Shadows Thursday night. They were talking to him about some Stargate. So, if you missed that episode, make sure to go check it out. They do great work over there. Love hearing them talk about Stargate, Farscape, all that good stuff. So make sure to go check them out. And if one of the mods could drop the channel link, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, just a few things. I'm not gonna go through like this whole article. I'm just gonna kind of go over some of the points that was in it. Some of the stuff that we learned about this new series is that they are bringing back a lot of the original showrunners, and they're bringing in, I should say, some of the original cast, whether it's from SG1, Atlantis, Universe. They're bringing them in kind of to consult. So I know that they have asked Christopher Judge, they've asked Michael Shanks, and I'm willing to bet they've probably talked to Amanda Tapping and Richard Dean Anderson about this as well, but I haven't seen anything about that. And all of them have said that it needs to go in a new direction. It needs to not try to piggyback or build off of the original shows. It needs to do something new. which I totally agree with. And I really hope that with some of the original showrunners and some of the original people coming in to talk about it and like work on it and put it together, I hope and pray to God that this is a very good and successful reboot, because Stargate is one of the best documentaries in the world. And if you haven't seen it, you are missing out. So if you haven't, go check out the Stargate documentary. You got like 10 seasons, a couple spin offs, a bunch of movies, plenty of content, plenty of stuff to watch with this documentary. Best one. Anyways, so we know that Malozzi is going to be coming back, and Martin Giro, however you say his name, I apologize. They're going to be coming back to help push this in the right direction. I know that they have also talked to Joe Flanagan, who played in Atlantis, um, and they're all they all seem like very positive about this. They all seem like they're working together, and that they want to take their time and they want to do this right. My thing is, I hope, and this might be an unpopular opinion out there, but personally, I think that they could still pull off the 20 some episode seasons if they do the story right. What they need to do is they need to look back at the original SG1. They need to look and see what was that magic ingredient that made it work. Now, granted, yes, there were some filler episodes and there were some silly episodes in the original series, but it's what made it work because they were placed just right. It was well produced all around. It was actually made with care. And this is what they need to do in this one. I'm really, really hoping that this turns out well. From what I understand, they have confirmed that a lot of the filming will be done in London. So we'll see. And then I forget what his name is. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick here. Let's see. Here we go. Yes, they did bring in production designer Nathan Crowley and Mohen Leo, and both of them, I forget exactly what they have worked on. I should have written it down. Oh, here we go. Crowley, who worked with Christopher Nolan on things like The Prestige, Batman Begins, Interstellar, Dunkirk, especially Interstellar was just phenomenally done as far as the visuals and the design of everything in that movie. It was all very well done. So that also gives me a bit of a hope with this, because this shows that he cares about his work. He wants to make this shit look good, and that does matter, because you can have anybody come in and have them start working on this kind of thing. But what matters is, do they care about the movie or the franchise or whatever it is that they're working on? Because if you actually care about it, you're gonna put your you're gonna put 1,000% into it every day, and you're not gonna ever slack on it because you actually care. You want this to succeed. You love what they're doing with this, so that's hopeful. That's pretty much all that we have gotten from the news, or the new information, I should say. Words are hard. It's late. Words are hard. I need more C4. I hope this does well, because we need good TV again, and I strongly, strongly feel like if this does well, if this new Stargate show does well, whether it's the 20 episodes or even 10 to 15 per season. I would like to have the 20-ish, but if they do like 10 to 15, I'll settle. But I feel like if they can do this well, this could kickstart a reboot essentially for Hollywood. Maybe if they see that stuff like this does really well, if you put time and care and love into a project, and people will actually like it, because who doesn't like Stargate, for one thing? If they can knock that formula and get it just right, this could reboot Hollywood, so to speak. It's a high goal, I know, but again, imagine it like this. Let's say I was working on Stargate and you guys are working on the X-Files reboot, right? If my Stargate reboot does so well because I actually care about the franchise, I put 1,000% into it, blood, sweat, tears, all that, and it does well. It starts going, it starts trending. It's like the number one watch show in the world, etc. All because I put the care into it. That's going to inspire other people to do the same thing. It's like what happened with Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling came out and said that Hollywood needs to make things that we want to go see. It's not our responsibility to go out and see this dog shit that they've been putting out for years on end now. It's not our responsibility. They need to make content that we want to pay for and that's worth it to us. And I'm hoping that that's what they do with this because Stargate is, I will even say it is the best documentary in the world. I would say it goes Stargate, X-Files. I don't know what number 3 would be. I'd have to think about that one. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot going up with all of this stuff right now. I'm going to try to keep up with all of it, but it is a lot. So I'm going to try to keep up on this stuff, and I'll probably make some more videos here and there for the channel. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. On that note, we're going to cut it on the news stuff. I know you guys are probably bored about hearing about some of the same stuff over and over again, but I feel like I had to cover some of this because a lot of this stuff I'm personally very interested in, as far as like the X-Files reboot and the Stargate reboot. Again, I'm really, really hoping that these are both well done. I'm not hopeful for X-Files, but I'm way more hopeful for Stargate than I am for the X-Files reboot. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, we're gonna throw on some arc raiders. We're gonna go gooping. I'm gonna quick grab a drink.